guys, welcome to Heather's Treasures. Today we are going to make this pendant. This stone happens to have a hole in it, and so I used a little charm. So if you want to make this, you need 3 pieces of 20 gauge wire that's 14 inches long, some assorted copper beads or silver, whichever wire you want to use, about 6 feet of 26 gauge wire, about a foot of 28 gauge wire, a charm. Then for some tools, you're going to need a hammer and bench block. You don't need to do that. You can just bend these wires and leave them round, but I chose to hammer them. Then you're going to need some cutting tools, something to make your bail with, dowel, whatever you have works, a pokey tool, wire straighteners, flat nose, round nose, bent nose, and that was it. So we'll see you in a second. I want to tell you what I did here. I had a charm, and I just wanted 1 petal. So I snipped off 2, unsuccessfully. Kept breaking this, so I very, very carefully left out a bunch. And then I took a diamond file and just filed it down, just like that. And then I also rounded off the point of this, so it was nice and smooth. The reason why I did that is because I want it to cover up the back of that hole. So then I took 3 pieces of 20 gauge wire, 14 inches long, and I hammered them in steps, basically. I'm just straightening this wire so it looks a little better to work with. Now there is a hammered side and a flat side. So if you notice, you can see my hammer marks, but on this side it's nice and flat. So I'm going to use that as the top piece. And I'm going to do the same thing with this wire here, straighten it out a little bit. You'll have to forgive my fingernails, my fingers. I had an order for some hand-painted eyes, so now this one is the hammered side, and that's the flat side. So that one will go here. And this one will go on the end. So it'll go just like that. Get a general idea of where to start. I'm going to give myself about a foot here. Let's see. So I'm just doing the modified sumac weave. So this is going to be the most fiddliest part because I hammered them out ahead of time. but it's doable. You just got to keep your eye on where that wire is at all times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down. Let's get these all back in order. I'm going to come down till I get about to maybe here. Okay, I lied. I don't want to start that weaving part that goes across the bead yet. I just want to weave until I get to the point where my wires are not hammered. Okay? So do that. So I'm going to put these back the way they were, because that seems to be the best way for me to handle weaving this. That way then I can come up over wires 1 and 2. Go down between 2 and 3. Come up between 1 and 2. And then go around so that I'm coming over 2 and 3. Then we go around 3. Come down. Come up between 1 and 2. Just like that. Down. And around 1. That's the modified sumac weave. So just continue to do that. I got some wires, loose wires here. Doggone it. Well, it's up near the top, so I'll redo that later. So continue doing that till you get to the hammered spot. Okay, I got that loose wire fixed. And now I've come to that part there. And I still have, about 6 millimeters or so of unhammered wire. So we're just going to continue on just these 2 weaves for the modified sumac. Let's wrap around this bottom wire 5 times. So I'll do that really quick here. Oh, missed it. Let's do 7. Eight. Okay, now we're going to cut that off. We're going to pinch that, give it a little spin. That just secures it that much better. Okay, so now we have to do 8. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rotations of the 2. Okay, now we're ready to start back in on the modified sumac weave on all 3 wires. So I'm going to do that, and once I get up to this point, I will come back. Okay, I've got it done here. We're pretty even. And now what I want to do is kind of shape this so that it comes around the outside edge of the stone. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bend these two back wires here. Okay, so I'm going to take this wire, bend that back out, and I'm going to coil what's left of this wire here. So I'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to do let's do a 3-1 weave. So we're going to go 1 here, and then we're going to go and do a 3. So 1, 2, 3. Now let's flatten that out so we can see what we're doing. Back that up. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that should secure me for now. I'm going to adjust that, I think. Let's put our stone back up here. See what kind of damage we did. Nope, I want this to come this way. So I'm going to just wrap this around 3 times, and then we'll clip that in back. Going to do modified sumac again. I'll tell you what, let's twist it up here. Let's just do 2 times around that one. 2 times. Once. Once around both. We'll wrap it around 2 times. And once around both. Don't know what this is called. I just decided to throw it in. So we'll call it a modified sumac weave. Whoop, 2 times. once, twice, once around both. Don't overlap your wires. Ooh, oh no! No, 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 don't go away. Give this a compress. That looks kind of cool. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is continue on and we'll make the bail. So once I make that decision as far as how long I want that, I will do it and then I'll come back and tell you what I did. I think I've got everything situated the way I want it except for these two wires. I haven't made that decision yet. This is just bent over. I'll tweak that in a second. Now I've got some 28 gauge wire and I want to kind of bring this in, get this out of my way, and I want to find out where, well, I'll tell you what, the first thing I'll do is run the wire through here. So your charm will be different than mine. You'll just pick a spot that works best for your charm. So I got that like that. I'm going to feed these through the back. Have them come out through the front. So now that will lay like that. And I want to flatten that wire. It's a little, it stands up a little too proud for me, so I'm just going to give that a little flatten. And now I need to decide whether this bead is too big or not. So we're going to feed it through. I'm just trying to decide. I think it's too, it's just a little too big. So we're going to take that off. And we're going to go with one of these beads. Hopefully that will cover up that hole. If it doesn't, we'll have to put that bigger one back on. And these are little 2mm beads. I like that. I like the look of that better. Okay. So now what we're going to do is feed this up through here into this hot mess. Get that wire out of the way. And then you're going to poke a hole just big enough. Where was it? I lost. Right here. Feed that through there. So that one was 1, 2, 3, 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to poke our hole right there. Make it big enough so that you can get that wire through. Ugh. Okay. Let's capture that. Now we'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, I don't need any more of those. So close that box before I knock them all over. Okay, so now let's kind of shape our bale. So let's straighten that up a little bit. And let's do this one here. Okay, we need to go just a little further. We're going to feed these in through the largest gap here that I've got. Okay, I'm going to coil this wire, and I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I forgot to hit record. What I did was this wire that was hanging out, I took it around and I brought it back around here like this. And I want to put it on this side of that wire there, have that guided around. I haven't taken care of that yet. And then I took a little and made a little spiral there. And I just want to make that a little bit smaller. There we go. So now, I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and get that straightened out. Okay, now I gotta figure out what I can do with these wires to make them look nice. Feed it up through here. So I'll give that a snip. Back that up a little bit. Make that a little bit rounder there. Let's trim that off a little bit. Bring that up through there. Okay. Now, if you're unsure how much to cut off, leave it a little extra long. That way then you have something to work with. If you cut it off and you find out it was too short, it's over and done with. You have to back it out and try to figure out what else you can do with it. So we've got 2 left here. I think I'd like to put them behind this wire right here, or this framework right here. And I'm just going to continue weaving this around to try to do it a little evenly. But I'm going to be really careful because a lot of times this wire will break when you're weaving it on stuff like this. Right, so now I'm going to just attach it to this wire a couple times. I say a couple, but I actually mean 3. 2 is just not, I don't trust it to be secure enough. So I'm going to do that with that one, and I'm going to do that with this one, and then I'll come back and we'll finish these 2 wires, and then we'll be finished. Okay, I'm going to bring this one around here. So I'm going to feed that underneath there. And let's see. We'll just pull it up and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that'll work. So now I just need to trim off just a hair. One last wire. I don't know if it's long enough, but I'm gonna check and see if I can do this. I'm gonna get these wires just straight. Yes, we got it. Lovely. Tell me what you think, guys. This is just one of the ways that I like to cover the holes. I like it. Nice. I think I'll leave this one alone. I won't antique it. That way then it can naturally oxidize, and when it naturally oxidizes, you get these beautiful rainbow colors sometimes at certain stages. And I just like that. So tighten that up a little bit. There we go. Voila! So if you like this video, were inspired or entertained, please give me a like and a share. It helps my channel a lot, and I really appreciate all the help. Doesn't cost you a thing. So till next time, love you. Bye-bye.